There's a bit of a challenge going around this part of the internet.
Yeah, if you had to pick 5 bottles, only 5 bottles to take with you to a different country, which ones would you pick?
Let's find out. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt and I'm a whiskey nerd.
My name is Rose and I'm a whiskey noob.
And like we said, there's a little bit of a challenge going around the whiskey tube. It's coming from Matt Porter and ADHD Whiskey. He dared everyone. No, he double dog dared everyone.
I can't believe you did a double dog dare.
I double or triple damn dog dare you to make a video challenging yourself to narrow down your collection. If you could only keep 5 whiskeys, which 5 would they be?
What 5 bottles would you take with you if you had to pack up your life and move to a different part of the world? If you had to start your collection with just 5 bottles, what would they be?
How do you choose?
Exactly. And not only that, but Ben and Greg from the Bourbon Note called us out specifically.
Oh no.
Because I think they might have a different kind of collection because we're mostly bourbon. Matt the Whiskey Nerd and Rose the Whiskey Noob at the Whiskey Nerd. That's another review channel. They do a lot of Irish stuff and some scotch and like cocktails and stuff. So I would challenge them. I'd like to see what their bottles are too.
So I think we have to put out our video.
I think we do.
We do. We had ourselves a little bit of a conversation and a thought about what bottles we would pick to go into this video.
Yeah, if you had to pick only 5, like you don't really want to pick a bottle that just like sits up on a shelf, you just look at. I think if you are just picking your 5 bottles, you want to pick 5 ones that you think you'll use, 5 bottles that think you'll really enjoy, like for whatever reason, either sipping or cocktails or whatnot. What would you use and what would make you happy?
Yeah, because for us, whiskey isn't just about collecting. It's not for putting 100 bottles on the shelf. It's for enjoying, it's for sharing with people.
Yeah.
And if you do like cocktails, have it in a cocktail. Like the way you enjoy your whiskey is up to you. It's not for collecting. It's for drinking.
Exactly.
So we each chose one bottle that we really liked, that was kind of like our favorite whiskey that we would have to have with us.
Yes.
We each chose one bottle that would kind of be good for sharing, that's a good staple bottle, very easy to enjoy.
Yes.
And then we had a little conversation and we decided on one bottle that's great in cocktails. So on with the list. For my bottle that I really love, that I would have to have with me, it's Blue Spot. This is a single pot still Irish whiskey. It's cask strength. I think it's just under 59% alcohol. It's aged in bourbon casks, sherry casks, and Madeira casks. It's really nice. It's a really, really good whiskey. It's a pot still whiskey, so it's got this nice kind of peppery spice to it. It's got vanilla and caramel coming from the bourbon casks. The sherry inclusion gives you some nice fruitiness, a bit of hazelnut, and the Madeira casks give you this kind of like tropical fruits, pineapple, kind of kiwi, kind of really nice rich fruitiness, and it drinks like it's not almost 60%. It drinks like it's about 40-45%. It's really nice, really smooth. And it's just one of the best Irish whiskies on the market.
Oh wow, it looks like you really love your Blue Spot.
Yeah, this is a top-notch whiskey, and it's one I would absolutely have to have with me if I was starting off a whiskey collection.
There you go. My favorite whiskey that I would have to bring, which I don't think will be much of a surprise for anyone, would have to be the Whistler Mosaic Marsala cask.
Yeah, this is from the Boan Distillery.
Oh,
but
yeah.
The brand name is the Whistler. Yeah.
Yeah. It is so good. It's a single grain. I think it's 46% about. I believe it was matured in ex-bourbon cask and was finished in, was it the
Sicilian Marsala wine cask.
Sicilian Marsala wine cask.
Yeah.
It is so good. It's such a great single grain. It's smooth all around. The flavors, like I think there's like a good bit of apricot. Like, what did you get from it?
Yeah, it's like lots of berries, stone fruits. That Marsala wine cask, very nice, rich, very fruity. This is a good whiskey because it doesn't have much of that.
It's a great whiskey.
It's a great whiskey. It was good for introducing people who don't really like whiskeys.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have that oak bite, it doesn't have too much spice. It's quite sweet.
It's smooth, it's sweet, like the apricot berries. It's just like such a wonderful mixture. But we're not here just to talk about this one. We're talking about our top 5s.
So then if I was going to pick a whiskey that I'd like to share with people, like obviously I'd like to share this one, but this is my whiskey. If I was going to pick a whiskey that I wanted to like have on my shelf that I think a whiskey collection is not complete without, it would be Redbreast. Now, I was toying because there's 2 pillars of Irish pot still whiskey. There's Green Spot and there's Redbreast. They both come from the same distillery, both actually from the same stills, but Redbreast, because the mash bills can be different, Redbreast is more spicy. The spot line of whiskeys, they're more kind of fruity. So since I've already got a spot whiskey, I switched over to the Redbreast. This is a nice, it's 12-year-old, so it's got a good age statement behind it. It's only coming in at 40% alcohol. But
it's our lowest one so far.
It's the lowest one. I think it's actually the lowest one of anything we have. But it's a pot still whiskey, so it's got this nice rich oiliness, so it does have a lot of flavour behind it. It is one of the classic Irish whiskies, and if you're talking about having a whiskey collection and you're not including Redbreast, that's not a real whiskey collection.
I think we've got a good variety going so far, like a couple of different flavors here. I think, we'd be set if we had to just jump ship and move to a different country so far.
Yeah.
My kind of go-to staple whiskey would have to be the Teeling Small Batch.
Yeah.
It is just so good. You can have it by itself. You could put it into cocktails. Like, it is a very versatile whiskey. I think it was finished in rum cask, if I'm not mistaken. And what does it come out? I'm going to have to check. 46%. Maybe I like 46% whiskeys.
I think you like 46%. Yeah.
But it's a little bit different because it's not a single grain. It's nice blended whiskey, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I think it kind of goes with like a wide variety of different, tastes and everything. So you can have it on your own or, in a cocktail.
And then we decided about what kind of whiskey we would like to have for cocktails.
Yeah, so I think whiskey cocktails are very important. It's very good to have a good, flavorful based whiskey for that. And I'd say that have to be Roe & Co.
Yeah.
Now, this is really how I got into whiskey in general, was through whiskey cocktails. And Roe & Co. does a fantastic job at it. Even if you go to their distillery, they have these dinner nights where they pair a Dublin restaurant with whiskey cocktails made specifically for that food. So they are incredibly good at their whiskey cocktails. It does taste good on its own.
When they were designing this blend, because it's a blended whiskey, it's a single malt and single grain whiskeys blended together, they worked with bartenders, with cocktail makers, with different people to kind of create a blend that would work not just for sipping, but also really work well in a cocktail. It's 45% alcohol, so it does have a bit more weight, so it can stand up to those flavors in a cocktail. And for us, if you're having a whiskey collection and someone comes over and oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
I love whiskey, but I'm not really that into it. I love the idea of whiskey more than the flavor of whiskey. You can break out a good cocktail whiskey, make an old fashioned, make a whiskey sour, make something like that, so they can enjoy the whiskey, because at the end of the day, whiskey's for enjoying, not just for leaving on a shelf.
I will say we had a friend who swore they hated whiskey, they'd never touch it. Cocktail, straight, wouldn't touch it. We got them to try a whiskey cocktail and they loved it.
Yeah.
We've opened up a whole new world for them through whiskey cocktails. So these are our 5 whiskeys. These are 5 whiskeys we would use if we just had to go to a foreign country. We need to start afresh. But maybe your 5 whiskeys are a little bit different. If they're a little bit different, let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, and I think it's time we also pass the message along and we extend a challenge to other channels. I think definitely I want to see more perspectives of Irish whiskies. So I think I'm going to say the big man himself, Big Al, from Whiskey Straight Al. I'd like to see what collection you start off with. What 5 whiskies you would start a collection with. Whether they're all Irish, whether they're Irish and Scotch, or a bit of bourbon in there. Let me know what you would have.
I'm going to challenge Jean and Charlie from Multitasking, because they're also another husband and wife duo who review whiskey, so I would really like their perspective, see what the both of them can kind of come up with, if there's any, separate whiskeys, if they agree on them all. So you're on this one too.
Yeah, so I'd like to see your videos. Like we said, let us know in the comments below what you would put down as your kind of 5 whiskeys you'd bring. We put out whiskey reviews every Wednesday, cocktail recipes every Friday, and every now and then we put out another video like this on Mondays. So if you want to see more, you know what you need to do. Scroll down, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. It's free, I swear. And we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt, and I'm a whiskey noob.
You're a whiskey noob?
I'm not here.
I'm glad it's just not me.
So this is coming from Ben Porter. It's not coming from Ben Porter. It's coming from Matt Porter.
Okay.
So let's try that again.